Well, more.
Hit record.
Mayor, I'm so
Okay,
glad you're in
that
town.
person's name is Kim.
Yes.
Okay. Now I will call the meeting to order. This is the December 15th meeting of the Plan Commission. The meeting has been mailed and posted. We are working off an amended agenda, so everyone please make sure you're on the right agenda. Continue with the roll call.
Yes.
Kim
Everything's
Smith,
good to
Chair,
go,
is
Craig.
present. Tom Smith is absent and is excused. Jared Holter.
Here.
Kevin Schubert, I do not think is in attendance.
No.
Jan Brock. I can see you. Amber Path
Present.
is here. Newt Tempty is here. And Craig. Craig is here. Very good. We have a quorum. Item 2, approval of the minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Jared, second by Skip to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Item 3 is public input. If there's any member of the public that would like to speak, now is the time to do so. Is there any member of the public that would like to speak? Last call, if anybody would like to speak under general input. Okay, general public input is closed and we will move on to item 4, which is a public hearing. It was scheduled to start at approximately 7 p.m. It is now 7:36.
Technical difficulties.
To consider text amendments to the Unified Development Code regarding the following: Planned Unit Development Overlay District requirements, Downtown Planned Unit Development Overlay District requirements, facade standards for medium density and high density residential districts, R3 and R4 districts, facade standards for mixed use community and mixed use neighborhood districts, MUC and MUN districts, specify accessory uses, the accessory structures for residential and non-residential districts, agriculture, the keeping of bees, agriculture, the keeping of chickens, garage sales, temporary tents, canopy, or similar membrane material structures, general landscaping standards, telecommunication and city right-of-way, and extraterritorial plat review. Katie, do you want to talk in advance of the public hearing?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. So in the packet, there are a variety of deviations and changes being proposed. I'll briefly walk through them. For the planned unit development, we're having a proposed right now that you can deviate from the code in a maximum of 5 areas. Right now, you can deviate from as much of the planned unit development code as you like, which when we have these special and unique developments coming forward, which are happening a lot more often, since we dropped the acreage from 5 acres down to 1, we have just a question as to, are we allowing too much deviation from the code that we worked really hard on for over 2 years to accomplish? So we have a proposal here for 5 areas. Now, be in mind that this could be 5 general areas such as building facade, building heights, or landscaping, or if there's only 5 actual code sections. So depending on the way that we read that, we might want to get into more of a discussion related to that. The actual changes are making the review criteria a little easier for people to understand. We also made a couple of the changes related to green space that we had done in previous amounts. The same thing for downtown PUDs as for regular PUDs. The facade changes for the R3, R4, and the mixed use density basically are meant to allow for more developer flexibility when they're designing their structures as being less dictated from city staff and from the city. Related to accessory structures, we're trying to be more clear with setback requirements in a few areas, making sure we're properly reflecting state building codes. The Common Council approved the keeping of chickens in Onalaska. So this now allows them, provided you get the proper license from the city clerk. So we had to update the accessory uses table to acknowledge that. I did, just for ease of your use, let you know in the packet what those proposed changes are as were approved by the council. We removed garage sales as that is addressed in the property maintenance ordinance and there's no need for duplication. And then general landscaping, this is actually text that we received a couple times during PUD amendments. So it's cleaner standards, tying them in reference to PUD amendments. And we want to allow landscaping firms, not just landscape architects, to be able to join in and, sorry, Eric just popped on the screen. Lost train of thought, excuse me. Allow installation of landscaping, and then also the surety amount. We previously were going to require 125%, and at a repeated request of the developer, it would drop down to only 100% of said securities. Extraterritorial plat review. The major change in here is related to certified survey maps, where city staff would have the ability to approve them within 1.5 miles of the municipal boundary limit, as opposed to bringing that forward to Plan Commission and Common Council. Plan Commission and Common Council will still continue to review plats as they occur outside of municipal limits, but this is meant for ease of use and time efficiency for an applicant coming forward. This is also discussed with La Crosse County and their preferred means of enforcing extraterritorial plat reviews. So this came from multiple jurisdictions. And then the very last piece, which is all red text, is adding telecommunication facilities in the right of way. This is model language that's recommended to be in our code. It was not ready when we were moving forward with the initial approval back in March of 2020. Thank you. Mayor Kim, I can't hear you, but you're not muted.
Can you hear me, Katie?
Yes, I can hear you, Jared.
I can't hear the mayor either.
Oh.
Diane, I can hear you.
I can't hear the mayor either. Her lips are moving.
We can see you trying to talk to us.
Oh. If she could sign, I do know sign language. Somewhat.
Since we cannot hear the mayor, feel free to jump in at any time. Jared, would you run the public hearing for the time being?
I can do that if that's okay with you, Mayor, if you nod. Okay,
And
Okay,
also,
thank you.
also, as an aside, the mayor, if she needed to, she could always do the Q&A to communicate as a possibility.
Yep. Okay, we now have the public hearing for the various changes to the code that are outlined in item 4 tonight. I'll take anyone wishing to speak in favor of those changes. And you'll have to let me know, Katie, if there's anybody with a raised hand.
Yep. I will let you
second.
know.
Second call for anyone wishing to speak in favor of those changes. Third and final call for anyone wishing to speak in favor of the changes for item number 4. We'll close that part of the hearing and now we'll go to anyone wishing to speak in opposition to those changes to the code as outlined in item number 4. Second call for anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the changes in the Unified Development Code. Third and final call, anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and take it to the Plan Commission. I'd make a motion to approve the changes to the Unified Development Code as outlined in item number 4 tonight.
I'll second that.
Second
And
by
who
Craig B.
Craig Ritzbecker was seconded. Okay. Discussion on the motion. Mary, are you still? Yeah, we can hear you. Okay. Jan, go ahead.
I have a question. Okay, I was unaware, we had spoken earlier, a while back, about this allowing chickens in the city of Onalaska. And the Plan Commission had not forwarded that on to the council or not approved that. When did the council approve that? Is that something new? Did I miss something? Maybe I was gone.
I can address that, Jan. So the last time this was seen was a few years ago. We had brought it forward from the Plan Commission to the council and it failed to move forward at the council level. This is housed within our Title VII licensing chapter. And city staff have been working through updating all of the ordinances with the city. And as we regulated bees in the licensing chapter, we brought it to the A&J committee with the potential of also licensing chickens. We had done an informal request on Facebook to get feedback related to it, and it was very heavily in favor to do so. And there was a meeting at the A&J in December and then also at council this month. So this is just referencing that new allotment.
So the only thing required then is for people to apply for and be approved for a license.
Yes, but there are
Yeah.
rules in terms of setbacks,
read
how many
those, yeah.
chickens you can have, how big you can go,
No
all of that.
roosters,
That is all in there. It's not a free for all. So,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Do we have any further discussion on the motion to approve the changes to the Unified Development Code? And if the mayor is available for a vote, we could have her just give us a thumbs up oh, you're on the phone. Okay.
I was trying to, I didn't know if you could group in, add me to your call, Mayor. Because she has Skip.
Because we'll need the mayor to vote. If we've got Craig on the line, we need the mayor for a quorum, won't we?
No, we do have, yes, 1,
With Craig?
3, Mayor Kim Smith. Yep, we can see that you're on the phone with Skip. Mayor, do you want to try logging off and logging back in of Zoom to see if that's what it is?
Jared told me to use Amanda's link in, and that worked.
Yeah, the last link that,
That was sent? Yep.
yep.
Right.
I'm on Amanda's account currently. Actually, we do have Craig through Diane, so we do technically have a quorum.
And Craig, you are on the line?
Yep.
Okay, so we do have a quorum, so I guess I'll call for the question then. All those in favor of approving item number 4, the changes to the UDC, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously with those here. Item number 5. Review and consideration of a certified survey map, CSM, submitted by Richard Staff, W5538 County Road OS, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650, to subdivide one parcel into 2 parcels, total of 2.22 acres. Tax parcel 9-381-0.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you, Mayor.
Oh,
Woo!
Okay, so what I was trying to say is when you lost me, you lost Skip too, because he can hear you and he can hear me, but then you couldn't hear him talking.
Ah.
So that was terrible. Can I ask a question on the previous item?
Yes.
Sure.
Try to sign off, sign back.
Yeah,
on,
because
okay?
Skip, when I did that, I was able to get on, so that'll be a good idea.
Tell him to use the link from Amanda.
Use the new link that just came
Said
from
Amanda's
Amanda.
name. Might have been from Katie.
That worked for me too.
Skip,
Yeah, I'm here, okay?
okay.
Just ready to get done again, that's all.
Oh.
A whole bunch of other stuff that's come up on me, I don't know what it is.
Okay, so my question is back to the chicken thing, because I had read the comments on Facebook and I had questioned myself and then agreed with what this one person was saying, that going to the chicken rules with the 80% and the 100 feet. So it says consent from owners of 80% of abutting parcels if said parcels contain an occupied principal building within 100 feet of the applicant's parcel must be obtained. And so that's kind of the question the person online asked was, what if you only abut 2 people, or what if it's like you do, but their residence isn't for another 100 feet, or it just seemed like there could be a lot of weird variables.
Yes, so we're actually looking to address that at the ANJ meeting in January. Our thought is because in many cases it's going to be difficult to get to the 80%. So we were looking to drop that to 50%. That way, if you just have 2 neighbors, you only need half. But that's something that we're going to be openly discussing at the next ANJ and Common Council meeting in January. Amanda and we're already discussing that today. We saw the same question.
The other thing I was thinking of is if it was 100 feet from wherever the chicken house was to the
Mhm.
parcel, if you had a larger parcel, your neighbors theoretically wouldn't even know. Like
True.
if it
Mhm.
was so far away, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just saw that on Facebook.
Yep.
So
So
what,
we're collecting all the feedback that we're getting, and we're going to bring that forward at ANJ.
okay, Skip, what's going on with you?
I just tried to sign back on and I couldn't sign on with that new one, so I came back to the old one, but.
So you
I don't know
can,
what they about the feedback.
can you hear the people?
Pardon?
Can you hear Katie when she's talking?
I can hear when she's talking, but if I go off the phone, let's see, shall we hang up and see if I can hear you okay without the phone?
Sure.
Call me otherwise.
I'll hang up, and if I don't hear anything, I will call you back. Okay. Does anybody hear Skip? Or Craig?
Craig's here.
Craig's here. He's through Diane.
Oh yeah, Craig's always been here through my phone.
I argued. I think the thing to do is just to call me back every time I need to vote, okay? And I'll just listen because I can hear everything otherwise.
Okay, but if you just mute, I'll mute you, and I'll just unmute you then. Is that better? If you just mute your phone.
I can hear you. That's better on the, yes.
Okay. Jared, if you want to just keep going till we get to the next item, I don't know where we are.
We're on
Um,
item number 5. I'm about
Yep.
to give the staff report.
Yep. I announced item number 5 and we're on the staff report.
Okay,
So we have a certified survey map showing that's within our extraterritorial plat review, 1.5 miles, which are required to be reviewed and approved by the city. The request is to subdivide one parcel into 2. Lot 1 would contain 0.73 acres and lot 2, 1.49 acres. These are in the Tonamid area and they will need to follow La Crosse County zoning regulations. City staff put forth 5 conditions of approval with this development.
Thank you. Okay. We want to put a motion to get it on the floor, or you want to have a discussion first? What's the
I'll make a
pleasure of the
motion.
committee?
I'll make a motion to approve the CSM
With 5 conditions.
with the 5 conditions attached, correct?
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Jared, seconded by Amber to approve the certified survey map submitted by Richard staff with the 5 conditions. Is there any other discussion? Jared?
Katie, would we, I mean, it's not a huge deal because it's a big lot and everything, but if this was in the city, how would we look at that with the outlot? I mean, obviously the septic system, if it was in the city, we wouldn't have that. So, and it is unique geography. So having the mutual driveway easement is not something we typically see, but with the topography there, it would be something we would probably approve, I think.
Correct. We don't do a lot of flag lots or shared driveways, but we have done them in the past when we have unique parcels. So it wouldn't be our most customary thing to do, but it's something that we would consider based on a case-by-case basis. So.
And then one other thing is the lot itself, there's quite a bit of 30% slope on it. It gets pretty steep, but the county has the same rules we do in relation to 30% slope. So I think they'll enforce the same thing we would.
Correct. When I spoke with the county, they said that all CSMs have to go to their zoning and planning department to be reviewed and approved against the same rules. So that they're the department that would review that for any development application.
Thank you. Jan, did you have a question?
You're on mute.
Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. There we
It
go. Thank
happens.
you. I'm wondering, I'm assuming the reason they're subdividing this is to build a structure on lot 2, a home or something. Because what Jared just said about the topography, that lot goes uphill. I'm familiar with that lot because it abuts up on the reservoir, Wild Rose up there.
Mhm.
That's high. Will it shed water onto lot 1?
It'll need a drainage. The county will have to facilitate a drainage plan that will facilitate getting that water down from that lot, depending on how big
Okay.
that structure would be. That lot is 1.5 acres, so it's got quite a bit of green space with it. So
Any other comments or questions? Okay, the motion on the floor is to approve the certified survey map with the 5 conditions. All those in favor, please say aye.
I
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Item 6 is a discussion regarding a conceptual plan proposed by Christopher Meyer of Grandview Estates LLC, 1589 Madera Lane, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650, on behalf of J.D. Mansky Family Land Holdings LLC, 4833 Sheboygan Avenue, number 320, Madison, Wisconsin, 54705, for the properties located along State Highway 16, Onalaska, Wisconsin, 54650. This is tax parcel ID number 9-14-0. We'll go to Katie first, and we do have Chris on the call.
Thank you, Mayor. So there was a updated cover letter from the applicant that went out today, further redefining the vision and what they're anticipating of doing with this particular project. Some highlights as noted in the staff report are lots 1 through 6. They're anticipating 2 6-unit townhomes. The proposed zoning in this area would be the medium high density R3 to facilitate that request. Lot 7 through 37 would be a twin home or a duplex residential for a low medium density of an R2 zoning district. Lots 38 through 57 for single-family homes. This would be our low-density residential R1 for zoning. And lastly, lots 58 through 61 would be a combination of commercial and/or multifamily uses such as drive-through banks, retail, or apartments. So the most appropriate use that would fit all the potentials as per the developer would be a mixed-use neighborhood, MUN district. So city staff took an initial review of the proposed development, and we wanted to have the Plan Commission provide some feedback to the developer to see if this type of a development in this area is what you believe would fit with the future of the city of Onalaska. So we brought some factors to consider and to potentially discuss if you had any questions. And obviously, as Mayor noted, we do have Chris Meyer here with us that can help address any questions that you might have. So to summarize it is, do you believe that this is appropriate for the use at this time? Single family, duplex, twindos, owner occupied versus rental, mixed use, the formatting and the proposed uses, is this appropriate for the city moving forward in this area? There are, as previously noted, 30% slopes in existence throughout the area. They would need to be appropriately delineated and developed in accordance with all of our rules. The proposed street layouts, and then also the provision of water services. There were a lot of questions related to Crestwood Estates, which is just north of this development, that it would have reduced water pressure and reduced service. So this would be an item of potential concern or debate for the Plan Commission. And lastly, how they would choose to do stormwater management. So if this project would continue to move forward, there are a variety of city approvals that would be necessary. This development, as it's proposed today, is not in conformance with our comprehensive plan. That area is slated for environmental sensitive residential, which is strictly low density, which is consistent with the blue area as shown on the map, but not the remainder. So if the Plan Commission did want to continue to see this move forward, they would work with the Long Range Planning Committee, and there would be a formal land use amendment that would come forward back to the Plan Commission and ultimately the Common Council in the next couple of months. Further, there would be annexations, rezoning, certified survey maps, plats, things of that nature that would come forward. But ultimately, the goal is to get feedback from the Plan Commission to see if this is something that you would like to see here in our community. Chris, if you had anything to add, or if Plan Commission wanted to debate, I'm not looking for any formal action on this item, just feedback for Chris to take back to his team to see if this is going to be what looks to be a potential viable program in our community.
Sure. Thank you, Katie. So Chris, if you want to just add anything to that, I think the commissioners would be interested to hear, and then I'll turn it back to the commissioners for questions or comments.
Okay, am I muted or am I good to go?
You're
can
good to
hear
go.
you, and I'm so
Oh.
sorry for the trouble tonight. We really haven't been having any issues at all with our Zoom meetings. It's just some weird thing going on tonight. There's something in the air, but we stuck with it, and I think we were at least able to have the meeting, and we're glad
Yes.
you're here tonight. Thank you for coming.
Yes, I'm glad to be invited. I did send out the first introduction letter is definitely relevant to our development, but I did send out something today that just updates our position on what we would like to do. And I guess the biggest part, I could go through the entire thing, but I believe you all have copies in front of you of the letter that I sent out. But I guess the biggest thing is the development that we are looking for to go forward with. Everything that is within our development already exists within this neighborhood. You know, right across the street, there are rental properties. There is R3 zoning. Right down the road, there is more twin homes actually than single family homes, and more 4 units than single family homes when you go down Crestwood. You know, I guess what we are trying to go forward with, and we do have a signed purchase agreement as of earlier in the week, actually last week, Friday. And, you know, so if this, as we have it planned out here, if it's acceptable to the city of Onalaska, it will be a development that we are looking forward to going ahead with as we have it planned out and laid out.
Okay, thank you for that. Now turn it over to the commissioners if anyone has any questions or comments. Jared?
Just looking at the plat, I don't think from our engineering department, you know, we don't have any, I think it's doable. I mean, there's going to need to be some work done and there's a few things that need to get refined in it. But from, you know, street layouts and utility service and everything, I think it is doable. There's a little bit, a couple of them upper lots might be far reaching in our water system, but we'll have to have it modeled and everything. But I think engineering wise, we could get through any hurdles we see that we see right now with the rudimentary information. I think kind of looking at from a plan commissioner standpoint for myself is, you know, what do we envision for the area and is this what the vision is? So.
Thank
that's
you.
all I had.
I have, maybe I'll see if Skip wants to say anything. Skip, I got you on if you want. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Skip didn't have any questions. Jan?
I just have a question for the developer. You said in your letter, your first letter, that you were interested in having a entrance exit off of Highway 16. Are you still planning to proceed with that? And if so, where would that be on Highway 16? Near what lots?
Okay, that's a great question. We are going to petition the state to have an entrance and exit on Highway 16. Believe it or not, there actually is an easement there currently for agricultural ingress and egress for the farm. It is not being used, but on paper it is there. I'm not sure of, I know where Emerald Drive comes in, but as you go towards West Salem, I don't remember the street name that goes in there, but between the two, there's approximately 2,200 feet there. And I know the state of Wisconsin and their new guidelines, they do not want entrances and exits within less than 1,000 feet. So where that actually works for us is in between lots 60 and 61. It's not a necessity to make this work, but it sure would be a blessing for the development. If the state does turn us down again, it's not something that's going to hurt the project in any way, but it would be a benefit to have it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, we definitely see that. The more traffic routes, the better for the neighborhoods. So let's see. Do we want to try to see if Craig has anything to say, a question or a comment?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And how about you, Amber?
Looking at the plan here, I'm seeing it's that Street B. Is that currently going through a property and a structure in this plan?
Street B?
That's the existing farmhouse that'll be torn down.
Correct.
Okay.
I think the barn is still there too, right, Chris?
It is.
Right. Mhm.
Did you have any phasing plans on this, or what were your thoughts on timeline or phasing or, you know, anything like that?
Well, our aggressive goal is to actually start this in spring of 2021, putting in the roads. The first phase that we would like to do the lots 1 through 37, and then of course 59 through 62. That would be considered what we would have our first phase. We actually do have what I would call a little bit better than warm interest in 2 of the commercial lots. One of the interested parties is a bank, for a drive-through bank. And the other interested party is for a retail space. Their main focus would be something similar to Wetstein's Lighting by Design. And then we do have interest in lots 1 through 3 and 4 through 6. So basically, we would love to do all of the first phase, which is the lower cropland and where the existing structure is right away. Phase 2, which is the blue area. If we are to get anywhere between 7 and 10 homes or lots purchased, we'll punch that through right away also. I guess it all depends on the demand for the development and the lots. It is set up that we can do it in sections. Road B, stop that halfway up, maybe by lot 36, so it encompasses most of it, and then punch in Road A later. Of course, most cost-effective way to do this from the subcontractors for the grading and such is to do all of A and B right away, and then C later.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions, or suggestions from Jared?
Just one other thing, just thinking about it, depending on what those commercial uses are, we do have all that traffic. If they do, I would not give your petition going to the state. I would say if you were 80-20, that you're probably got a 20% shot of getting it. I'd say that's probably as good a shot as you're going to have. So we almost got a plan on that traffic going through the neighborhood. So we do currently get some complaints from some of those townhomes along Crestwood Lane of people speeding and things. There's enough of a downhill grade there, but that's something just we got to be careful of too. What uses go into that the pink area on the map? I don't necessarily have a problem with putting something commercial in there, but we don't want something that's going to be like, I don't know how we look at it, something like a Starbucks or a McDonald's going in there where we got consistently a lot of traffic, but it's not I'm not necessarily against the pink being zone commercial, because I think it's a good use there, especially with the frontage along 16 and that view shed and everything. I think it would work there. Just from a traffic standpoint, we just got to be a little bit careful of what goes in there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have had traffic complaints from along that section of Crestwood too, with people. I can't imagine trying to funnel a lot of traffic. That's a neighborhood street with people, and it's pretty high density. Those are like, I don't know, what are they, twin doors, Jared, or?
Those are
Condo type.
fourplexes with some twin doors in there. I think, Chris, you just got done building a twin door in that stretch there, but
We did.
yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that would be, if those were gonna be uses that generate a lot of traffic and then it was directed back through the neighborhood, I feel that's a big negative.
I
Chris, can
agree.
you even request a right in, right out or something if you try to with your request to DOT?
We haven't even discussed anything with the DOT
Okay.
yet. The first question that I have is, and I don't know if it's the correct question, but would the city of Onalaska support us in that question to this DOT? And before, we did not start the question process because until last week, Friday, we didn't even have a signed purchase agreement. So would the city of Onalaska support us in that position?
I'll refer to staff, Jared.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna, from being a city engineer and looking at it, I hate seeing that traffic in the neighborhood. But in the same token, I know why the DOT has the practices that they have, and that's the reason with the traffic volume you see along Highway 16. There are a reason it's limited. They've limited the access, because that's where the old Crestwood Lane used to go out right there.
Mhm.
And now with the new signal light going in at Emerald Drive East, that's going to make that intersection even safer. So, that from an access to the highway standpoint, I really think we should be using the signal light at Emerald Drive. But as far as pushing more traffic through the neighborhood, it'd be nice to have another entrance. So, you know, I kind of leave that up to DOT looking at what their safety standards are. I hate to, there's reasons to support it, and reasons that it should go the other way. So purely from an engineering standpoint, you got a little bit of both.
Right. Okay, Chris?
We do actually have another access point. If you look up in the blue area, lot 45, we have a part of that property. Our property does go down to the cul-de-sac. I don't know if it is wide enough to put a road in there, but we do have one way to alleviate some of the traffic down Crestwood.
Chris, are you referring to the frontage road along 16?
Yes,
are you
that
gonna-
goes, the home on the corner has the big barn-like garage. So lots 45 and 46, right behind there, you see the dotted line going down to the cul-de-sac. That's actually part of the property that we own.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in the back.
In the
Okay,
back.
Got it.
I
Yeah.
I got
see.
it. So looking at this plan and looking at the blue lots, planning for the future, we would want to try to connect
Mhm.
connectivity wise, street wise, the blue cul-de-sac, which is labeled street D with that street coming off of 16, if that would ever annex and become part of the city, it would make sense to make that a horseshoe and loop, and some of that traffic probably would then go out that direction or come in that direction. But yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't really help on the lower lots, but it does help on the
No.
upper lots.
it would help on the upper lots, correct?
Kim, it's Eric.
Yep, Eric, go ahead.
Better turn my camera on, otherwise people think I'm Jared. I would suggest, especially with that cul-de-sac connection being up there, that if possible, to consider that part of the original annexation request when it comes forward as well, to avoid having to do that later on.
Right.
I guess in terms of staff recommending acceptance or not, I think Chris, as a developer, you pointed out some very key things is, though it's not the current, zoning for the comp plan, it does have parts of various projects that are already in existence. And as administrator, obviously, the ability for the city to grow for net new construction and new residents and so on is very key for me. So I'm excited to see this development here. Obviously concerned because it's a change from what we have for a comprehensive plan. But I just want to reiterate again, unlike sometimes potential plans could be something completely new to the area, these are all portions of things that are already in the neighborhood. Certainly traffic density will increase, but it wouldn't be something brand new and ill-fitted for the neighborhood. So I'm excited to see the proposal, and I hope that it continues to move forward.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Eric. Any other comments or questions from the commissioners or staff? Okay, so I think to kind of recap, Chris, I think, we're excited about the potential for this development. We do have a few concerns. Specifically, we'd like to see that easement in the back annexed in along with the property, just to future looking routing for snow removal and road maintenance and everything. It would just make a lot more sense. And then I have a big concern with the commercial lots and the traffic flow coming back in through that residential neighborhood, putting too much pressure on those lower houses. But definitely all hurdles, and then the slope, which you know about that. So I think definitely all hurdles that have the potential to be overcome. Does that everyone agree with that? No summary.
I agree with it.
Okay. Any other, we're not really taking action. We're just having a conversation, right? Okay.
Chris,
All
do you
right,
think
well,
you have
Chris.
the feedback that you'd need or the direction? Is there anything else you're looking for from the Plan Commission?
I know it's a very informal thing today. It's not, you know, it's not any decisions being made, but in general, is everybody on board with the layout and the design that we have in concept anyway?
Commissioners, Jared, do you speak for us?
I mean, I guess I like the layout and everything, and if, you know, the twin homes, there's a lot of them in there, but that's what's in the development below you. You know, that's a continuation. That's more of a long range planning for the comp plan. You got, if the comp plan facilitates that change, then it's part of that. I think from an engineering standpoint, there's some stuff that we've pointed out, but I think it can be I think we can go through a design and meet the city engineering standards for stormwater and streets and curb and gutter and all those things. I think Chris has been through this before, and I think he understands what those, from a development standpoint, what would be expected of him from the city. So, you know, it shouldn't be something there, but I mean, I guess I can be supportive of what I see today from my standpoint.
I think Craig had something to add.
Okay, Craig?
Well, I think the mayor's assessment was right on. I think certainly excited about any development, but we want to make sure that we've covered all the concerns as well. And I think those are outlined pretty carefully.
Yep, and we appreciate the opportunity to have this conversation on the front end also. Diane, did you want to add anything?
Nope. But thank you.
Alrighty, Eric, last chance.
No, I'm good. I think we got it covered.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Chris, for bringing this forward, and you can work out some of your next coming questions with staff, and maybe we'll see more back next month.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, that was just a discussion. So item 7 is regarding the 2021 Plan Commission schedule. Katie?
Thank you. Included in your packet is our tentative schedule. As noted, there is no Plan Commission subcommittee shown on this. Wanted to just get some basic feedback if the Plan Commission, do you think that the process we've done for a good chunk of this year, only doing Plan Commission and not including subcommittee, has been effective? Or do you want subcommittee back? Just looking for feedback. And also hopeful approval of the schedule for 2021 as it's about to start here shortly.
Okay, commissioners, do you have any comments?
I think, well, since I'm a member of the subcommittee, I think it's been working not having a subcommittee. We haven't had a large development come in, but I think with the staff meetings that staff currently has with developers and the work Katie does behind the scenes, I think it works good. Everything's prepared when we get to Plan Commission meetings and have things in our packets to review.
Okay, I think Skip has a comment, so get ready for the feedback. Okay, Skip, you're on. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, he said that you already answered it, so. Okay, any other comments? So
I'd make a
go ahead,
motion
Jared.
to approve the 21 Plan Commission schedule. It's in our packet tonight.
Okay, motion, and Skip seconds that. So we have a motion on the floor by Jared Holter, seconded by Skip Tempty to approve the 2021 Plan Commission schedule. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 8 is review and consideration to consent to an extension of the declaration of restrictions to the plot of second addition to Elmwood Hills addition to the city of Onalaska, recorded by the Register of Deeds. This is document number 108 1147, volume 962, page 824. Katie.
Thank you, Mayor. Hello, this is Katie Aspenson with the City of Onalaska.
Yeah, this is Kim Linton.
Thank you. We're discussing your item. You're on the Plan Commission meeting, so I just wanted you to know that I'm about to give a little brief background on this, and then they'll have their discussion, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So the City of Onalaska owns a property within the Elmwood Hills Addition 2, specifically lot number 17, tax parcel 18-4684-1. There is a deadline for these new covenants to all be signed by landowners by the end of the year, which is why it's coming to the Plan Commission. So we have that for you, and if the applicant would like to discuss it any further, they're welcome to do so. But it is in your packet, hopeful for approval this evening. And if it is approved, it would be signed by the mayor and moving forward, and then it would go to Common Council in January of 2021, just as an affirmation due to the deadline necessary for this project. Kim, did you have anything to add?
No, we would just need the notarized form
Yep.
signed into me for the recording before the end of the year.
Yep.
These covenants are not new or modified. They're an extension of the current covenants. What the current covenant allows us to do is to extend them for 10 years, 1 year before the end of it. And it allows us to do that, basically run with the land. So theoretically, we do it indefinitely, but we're not changing anything in the original covenants. These are exactly the way they were written up by Elmwood Hills from original development.
Okay. Thank you for
Okay.
that background. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Kim, and sorry for the difficulties tonight that we're having.
Oh,
We were having. We got it all figured out now in a weird way.
Yeah.
Okay, Jared,
We got
did you have a
some
comment?
strange stuff on Zoom.
I know we're in a unique position here because we're a landowner. This is actually where our reservoir is at on Wild Rose Lane. That's the lot that the city has that has a reservoir on it. So I think we try to steer clear of covenants in relation to subdivisions. And I think we got to look at this more as being the landowner in the subdivision and extending it versus the city kind of extending it a little bit here, just to make sure we're not constantly getting into the covenant discussion. But I think it does protect if the neighborhood has a majority of the people that want to continue it, it would protect the neighborhood and keep it as a quality subdivision within our city. So that's my 2 cents worth.
Okay, any other commissioners have any questions? Jan?
Is Kim still on the line? Maybe not. I just wondered,
Yes.
this is only one of 3 in that subdivision. Will they have to come in with the other 2 if they wish to extend those?
No, City of Onalaska only has the one lot in the one subdivision.
So this is the only
So
one.
we're trying to extend all 3 subdivisions. And if we get a simple majority, we can do that.
Thank you.
So this is just regarding our city-owned property, not the other people who own property in Elmwood Hills, for clarification. Any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Okay, I'll entertain a motion then.
Just a second.
Oh,
I have Craig.
Craig.
Are we being asked to approve covenants?
We're
We
being
are
asked,
as a landowner within the subdivision, not as a city staple, but as a landowner within the platted area.
Okay, because I don't like getting involved with covenants. I think Jared alluded to that as well. Okay.
Correct. It's just as owners of a piece of property that's covered by the covenants that we need to act. Ginger.
And Katie, the city attorney has reviewed this request and everything?
Yes, our legal counsel has reviewed it, and if approved at council tonight, we'll take the, or excuse me, a plan commission tonight, we'll take the necessary steps following the meeting.
And is it going to be an issue that we're approving this ahead of council?
Nope. So plan commission typically deals with land ownership. So, and it's due to timing that this has to occur by the end of the year, and there's an opportunity for a council meeting at that time.
Okay, we need a motion.
I'll
Jan,
make,
I'll make a motion to approve this.
I'll second.
okay, we have a motion on the floor by Jan, seconded by Jared Holter to extend the declaration of restrictions to the plat of second edition to Elmwood Hills edition, as recorded by the Register of Deeds, as I stated. This is approving it for the city-owned property. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 9 is adjournment.
Welcome.
Anybody?
Move to adjourn.
Just hold on for just 1 second, Kim, okay? Okay.
Motion by Jared to adjourn. Is there a second?
Craig seconds.
Okay, Craig seconds. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. The time is 8:30. Want to really thank everyone for your patience tonight. I think we had a struggle, but we got